Claire, either quit or stop calling yourself my daughter. The sentence sliced through me sharper than steel. I'm Claire Dawson, 28, lead engineer at Dawson Dynamics. That night, my family staged an ambush around our Austin dining table. My sister smirked, already crowned CEO without lifting a single finger. They expected me to break. But 6 months later, it was them pleading for my return, and all I said was, "Remember that dinner?" I don't forget. Before we go on, tell me in the comments, what time is it where you are? Claire, resign or you're no longer my daughter. The words echoed long after the plates were cleared. At the office, the fluorescent lights felt harsher. The keyboards clicked like tiny verdicts. I kept my head down, coding. Dawson Sync pulsed with my heartbeat. 18-hour days stitched into its code. Ryan stayed late beside me, chasing bugs at dawn. But the real cuts came at home. My mother's voice was a blade. "Let your sister shine, Claire." She couldn't even look me in the eye. Dad's emails shrank to numbers and deadlines. No congratulations, no warmth. Monica filled the silence with corporate jargon. Vision. Scale. Global. She chirped at a barbecue as smoke blurred our faces. She pitched my app as a foundation like I was concrete. Walked on, never credited. Carlos pulled me aside after a demo. "Your app's a game changer, Claire." His praise felt dangerous, almost secret. Back at work, whispers spread. "She's just a coder," someone muttered. Being just a coder paid salaries, but not respect. Mom began calling about optics. "Wear the navy suit tonight. Stand next to Monica. Look supportive." Supportive felt like a muzzle. At night, I paced our apartment. Austin's skyline blinked like indifferent stars. Ryan's words cut through the haze. "They're rewriting you. Protect what's yours." Still, I craved recognition. A toast, a thank you, anything. But silence answered like a locked door. When Mom repeated it, "Let your sister shine, Claire," I finally heard its subtext. Shrink so she can grow. Dim so she can sparkle. Erase yourself and call it love. But love shouldn't demand disappearing. Family shouldn't feel conditional. Ours did, and worse. So I stopped begging. If they wouldn't see me, they would feel my absence. I began sketching quiet insurance. The night I chose silence, my comeback quietly began. I became a ghost inside my own company. The boardrooms echoed with Monica's laughter, not mine. Her heels struck the glass floors like victory drums. Meanwhile, I stayed hunched over my laptop. Screens glowed blue through sleepless nights. Coffee cups multiplied like an army of silence. Ryan and I worked in whispers. Our cramped apartment became a secret bunker. He typed beside me, his jaw tight. "They won't see you coming," he said. "You'll have a shield they can't touch." We built it together. The lock, a fingerprint safeguard hidden deep inside Dawson Sync's core. Every 72 hours, my touch kept it alive. To outsiders, it looked like a security feature. To me, it was insurance. Insurance against betrayal wearing my last name. At the office, Monica strutted through, leaning on engineers for answers, tossing buzzwords. "Optimize this. Scale that." She couldn't open a terminal. Still, Dad clapped her on the back. "That's my girl," he boomed. I slipped past unnoticed, carrying the real product. I stopped expecting praise. Instead, I learned to measure silence, every ignored email, every sidelong glance, data points of betrayal. Mom's eyes hardened with calculation. She praised Monica's charm. My hours were dismissed. Her words always circled back to one thing: family image. Image hadn't debugged servers at sunrise. Image hadn't secured $100 million deal. But Image somehow had the power to erase me. On a sweltering afternoon, Dad texted, "Stand behind Monica's vision. The investors believe in her." My fingers trembled as I held the phone. Ryan read it over my shoulder, then looked straight at me. "You can't let them rewrite history." I gave a slow nod, pulse hammering. History carried fingerprints, mine pressed into every corner. Lines of code, contracts, negotiations, invisible marks only I could trace, and one lock no one but me could open. Outside, the whispers grew sharper. "She's bitter. Monica has vision." But vision without ground was just vapor. And vapor, even without weight, could still fill a room. I stayed silent, building, fortifying, preparing. Every unspoken word was another brick in the storm. Carlos's voice steadied me. Your app is saving us millions, he'd remind. Those words were lifelines against the noise. But isolation cut deeper than exhaustion. At barbecues, birthdays, dinners, I was invisible. Framed photos displayed Monica's smile, never my work. So I built my own frame. Not of smiles, but of leverage. Not of family, but of fingerprints. One night, Ryan caught my eye. You're not vanishing, Claire. You're sharpening. I swallowed, letting the truth sink. Yes, this wasn't surrender. This was sharpening. And when the night came, the night their betrayal unfolded, my lock drew its first breath. The lock woke on a Monday. 72 hours. No fingerprint. At Dawson, the system choked. Error logs stacked like falling dominoes. Warehouses froze. Trucks idled. Dashboards bled red. Carlos was the first to call, voice edged with panic. Claire, throughput's down 40%. Fix it or the deal's off. I kept my tone calm. I'll check from my side. Inside, I already knew. At Dawson, chaos erupted. Engineers sprinted, eyes hollow. Monica barked orders, optimize, stabilize, escalate. She opened no terminal, solved nothing. Her confidence shrank into paper-thin lies. Dad's name lit up my phone. 3 missed calls. 1 text. Claire, we need you now. Need tasted different than love. Sharper. Too late. By noon, Daniel Harper arrived. Your family requests your help, he said. Name your terms. 2,000 an hour, I replied. No titles. No apologies. Access stays limited. He nodded, desperation written across his face. I walked into Dawson like a ghost. Brenda's eyes welled. Claire, thank God, she whispered. The war room buzzed with screens. Carlos glared. Who's fixing this disaster? I patched outputs, eased bottlenecks, kept the core algorithm sealed. Monica stormed in, shouting. She's sabotaging us. Carlos silenced her. Enough. Show results, not drama. Uptime climbed. Clients exhaled. Monica's stare burned through me. Dad's pride cracked. Mom looked at me like I was someone else. That night, Susan called. Don't destroy the company, she pleaded. This is your father's dream. I stared out at Austin's skyline. You told me to step down, I said. You chose Monica. The silence stretched. I didn't mean it, she whispered. But you did, I answered. The next morning, headlines exploded. New CEO stumbles. Flagship product in jeopardy. Contracts at risk. Past midnight, Dad cornered me. Come back full time. We'll fix the titles later. But titles never built respect. Respect raised uptime. And neither lived here anymore. Consulting only, I said. 2,000 an hour. He swallowed pride like gravel. Monica tried a softer mask. We're sisters, she said. Let's align on vision. But vision without foundation collapses. I kept my face calm. Ship uptime first, I said. Pressure swelled over the week. Contracts dangled. Clients watched. The board whispered. And then, the invitation arrived. Monica's wedding. Saturday evening. Everyone who mattered would be there. Ryan held the card. You going? He asked. I looked at the date. I stared at the burn. Yes, I said quietly. But it wasn't a celebration. They'd wanted a toast. Instead, the wedding smelled of roses, money talks, white tents sparkled wind toppling in Austin sky. A string quartet murmured in the corner, their notes floating over the clink of glasses and polished laughter. I lingered at the edge in black, watching investors and board members raise glasses to Monica. Her gown glimmered under the lights, her smile rehearsed for cameras and applause. To them, she was Dawson's bright future. To me, she was a thief wearing my crown. Ryan squeezed my hand. This is your moment, he whispered. I drew a steady breath and walked toward the microphone. Good evening, I said, voice calm but edged. I have an announcement about Dawson Sink. Conversations froze. Faces turned. The quartet fell silent. The core algorithm needs my fingerprint every 72 hours, I continued. Without it, your warehouses collapse. Without me, Dawson Dynamics falls apart. A ripple of gasps broke through the crowd. Glasses halted midair. Someone dropped silverware, ringing like a bell. Monica's bouquet trembled. "You're sabotaging us," she screamed, voice cracking, stripped of royalty. I didn't flinch. "You stole my work and my title. I protected what was mine. The system recognizes its creator." Carlos Vega stepped forward. "This explains the outages," he said firmly, eyes shifting to Monica. "You sold us a lie." Thomas pushed through the crowd, face flushed. "Claire, stop this. Take a leadership role again. Fix it and we'll make it right." Susan clutched my wrist, tears streaking. "Do it for family," she begged. "Please, Claire, for your father's dream." I pulled free, spine straight. "You told me to resign. You chose Monica. You don't get to beg now." The board murmured, sharp whispers. "Risk exposure. Leverage sits with Claire." Eyes swung from Monica to me. She tried softening her tone. "We're sisters. Let's align our vision." Her smile trembled under the lights. "A vision without foundation crumbles," I said. "Respect the author or keep pretending and pay the price." Carlos folded his arms. "Honor her terms, or the contract ends." Reporters raised phones, capturing every word. Thomas sagged, voice hollow. 2,000 an hour. Your conditions stand." I handed the microphone back. No applause followed, only awareness. The truth had finally taken the stage. Ryan joined me on the path. "You're a force," he said. I exhaled months of silence, proof now undeniable. Outside, headlines lit the night. Founder's lock exposed at wedding. Engineer reclaims control. I wasn't their pawn anymore, not Dad's legacy, not Mom's image, not Monica's shadow. I was Claire Dawson, and now the world knew it. Morning would bring fallout and offers, but freedom had already arrived. It came without panic, only a clean, steady pulse. I chose not to go back, not for titles, not for apologies, not for a seat they had cheapened. Janet's team welcomed me openly. A lab with sunlight and whiteboards, engineers who argued in good faith, people who valued proof over pedigree. We built Nexus Flow from the ground up, fewer meetings, cleaner code, faster launches. Carlos called. Then others followed. Results moved faster than rumors. Revenue rose like sunrise. My name had its own gravity now. No borrowed crowns, no stage smiles, just work that stood upright. Dad wrote 3 letters. The third said, "I'm sorry." I read it twice, then filed it away. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's boundaries with air to breathe. Mom called at dusk, her voice soft and unarmed. I was wrong, she admitted. I wanted image over truth. "Truth pays better," I answered gently, "even when it hurts." Monica sent a glassy paragraph by text. I didn't respond. If growth requires silence, I'll stay quiet and grow. Ryan and I married by the lake. No chandeliers, no speeches about strategy, just vows, friends, and Texas wind. "You stayed yourself," he said. Finally, I answered. "Some nights I pass the old building. The glass still mirrors the sky, but it no longer mirrors me. I'm not a reflection anymore. I'm a source. Here's what the fire taught me. Protect your authorship early. Document. Design. Defend with clarity. Family love without respect is a leash. Cut it, or it will cut you. Here's what love taught me. Choose those who clap for the work, who debate details, not identities, who hold the door, not the leash. If you're standing where I once stood, erased, minimized, rewritten, remember this proof. You're not their version of you. Build the one that stands. I didn't win by breaking them. I won by outgrowing the room, by choosing air over permission, by naming my price and keeping it. I'm Claire Dawson, not a pawn, not a shadow, a builder with my own light, and I won't dim it again. Have you faced something like this? Share it in the comments. If you've been through it, you're not alone.